Her words hit me like a punch to the chest, so sudden and sharp I almost lost my breath. I'm tired of pretending to like your family. She hadn't even whispered it. She said it plain, unvarnished, over the rim of her wine glass while we sat across from each other at the dinner table. The candlelight flickered between us, illuminating a face I thought I knew better than my own. But the way her lips curled when she said it, it wasn't frustration. It was relief. Like a confession she had been dying to release. For a moment, all I could do was stare. My fork froze halfway to my mouth. The words rattled in my skull, breaking apart everything I thought was steady. Pretending. I thought about the countless nights she sat next to me on my parents' couch, smiling politely, asking my mother about her garden, laughing at my father's old war stories. I thought of how she joined in family traditions, the messy backyard barbecues, the board games that lasted hours. I thought of the photos we'd taken, her arm hooked around my sister's shoulder, her smile bright and warm. All of it had been pretend. My stomach churned. My skin went hot, then cold. Why would you say that? My voice cracked against the silence. She set her glass down slowly, carefully, as though she'd rehearsed this. Because it's true. And I'm done lying. They drain me. I can't keep putting on a mask every time we visit. I don't belong with people like them. People like them. My family. My blood. I wanted to argue, to defend, to beg her to take it back. But deep inside, something darker stirred, a memory of little cracks I had ignored. The way she sometimes rolled her eyes when my sister left the room. The sighs she thought I didn't hear when my dad called. The excuses she gave to skip dinners. She had been telling me all along. I just hadn't wanted to believe her. The rest of the night passed in a blur. I barely tasted my food. She cleared the plates in silence, humming a tune that grated against me now, sharp and false. In bed, her back was to me. I stared at the ceiling, my mind spinning in endless circles. If she could fake it with them for so long, what else was she pretending about? The thought crept in like a shadow. Had she been pretending with me? I told myself I was being paranoid. That marriage had rough edges, and this was just another one. But paranoia has a way of digging in. It doesn't let go. Over the next week, I watched her. Closely. Too closely. I noticed how quickly she grabbed her phone when I walked into the room. The late-night texts she dismissed as friends. The sudden, unexplained errands. She started dressing differently too. Bolder, sharper. Clothes she never wore for me. One night, I came home early. Her car was in the driveway, but the house was dark. I walked in quiet, every sense on edge. From the living room came the faint hum of her voice. I moved closer, heart thudding. She was on the phone. I can't keep this up much longer, she whispered, her tone soft, intimate in a way it hadn't been with me for months. Then, after a pause, no, he doesn't know. He's clueless. He still thinks I'm playing the perfect wife. The floor seemed to vanish beneath me. I gripped the wall just to stay upright. My chest ached with something too big for air, too raw for words. She ended the call before I could make myself move. I slipped out the door as quietly as I had come in, driving aimlessly into the night, my mind unraveling. I wanted to confront her, to demand the truth, but the thought of hearing her confirm it, hearing her say she loved someone else, paralyzed me. Instead, I replayed the call in my head, dissecting every syllable, every pause. For 2 days, I stayed distant. I told her I was busy with work. I couldn't look at her without feeling sick. She noticed, of course. She tried to kiss me one morning, and I flinched. The confusion in her eyes almost broke me. Almost. On the third night, I found my courage. I sat at the kitchen table, waiting for her. When she came in, I didn't waste time. Who were you talking to the other night? Her eyes widened, just for a second. Then she laughed. Too quickly. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. My voice shook. I heard you. You said you couldn't keep this up. That I was clueless. Her smile faltered. She dropped into the chair across from me, hands clasped tightly. For the first time, she looked afraid. Fine, she said softly. I didn't want you to find out like this. And then she told me. About him. About how he made her feel alive. How she was suffocating in a life she never wanted. My family, our routines, the endless expectations. I love you, she said, tears brimming. But I can't love this life. I tried. God, I tried. But I was dying inside. Her words sliced deeper than anger ever could. Because there was truth in them. I saw it in her eyes. She wasn't a villain twirling mustaches in the dark. She was a woman who had convinced herself she'd drown if she stayed. And what did that make me? The water she was struggling against. I wanted to scream. To beg. To hate her. But all I could feel was hollow. That night, I didn't sleep. I packed instead. A suitcase, a box of essentials. I left the rest. On the counter, I placed my wedding ring. Its shine mocked me under the dim light. Beside it, I left a note. You said you were tired of pretending. So I won't pretend either. You don't need to love my family. But I need someone who loves all of me. I walked out quietly. No slamming doors, no theatrics. Just finality. A week later, my mother called. She'd run into my wife at the grocery store. She looked pale, my mother said. She asked about you. She looked lost. I didn't respond. I just stared out the window, the phone heavy in my hand. For the first time, I realized I wasn't angry anymore. Just empty. And in that emptiness, a strange clarity took root. I had lost a woman who couldn't bear to love my whole world. But somewhere out there, I still believed, was someone who wouldn't see my family as baggage. Someone who would see them as part of me, and choose me anyway. That night, for the first time in months, I slept without dreams.